strong deck. Will we see it or not? Well, we will just jump right into the game and see if there is a... Wow.
Oh, wow. He actually plays it.
I was like, will we see a priest or not? Oh, there's a priest.
And we see Sylvanas in there.
Well, that's not surprising. I saw a lot of Sylvanan, one or less Sylvanas in priest decks. I think absolutely good card here. And for Ek0p, it's a Miracle Rogue again. So we see here the return of Miracle Rogue to competitive play. Well, it was never dead, but it got kind of overrun by all the Hunter play. So no one actually played Miracle Rogue in the past.
Yeah, as you already said, we see it more and more often, and I'm happy to see a priest. I'm looking forward what he's gonna play, and we can see already Azure Drake, defender of Argos. So yeah, mid-rangey what we've seen so far, and yeah, he tends to buff his stuff up.
Absolutely. What will happen? What might we see? Mid-range priest here with Watchers, Shadow Madness, kind of useless until the Miracle Rogue finally decides to actually play one minion. Those cards are kind of dead until we really see something. I mean, he has a Shadow Madness. You can steal a, Acolyte of Pain. Or not. He plays a Dark Iron Dwarf here. And I'm surprised to see a Dark Iron Dwarf. I haven't seen one forever in a priest. He might just play it to Dark Iron Dwarf and then cast his Shadow Word Kill, Shadow Word Death. So that's a possible combo. But I'm
really nice
I'm
as well.
still surprised to see him. I know that combo is working with an Abusive Sergeant too, and I guess that's if you play the combo, you mostly play an Abusive Sergeant because he's only one. He costs only one, so you could do it turn 5. But it's always a late gamey play, so well, nice Dark Iron Dwarf. It's a beefy threat here now. If Ek0p is not having his Eviscerate, well, he doesn't need an Eviscerate. He just chooses to go for his Cold Blood.
And trades. And before he shifts his Acolyte to draw 2 cards. And he drew the Leroy, if I'm not entirely mistaken. Yeah, he drew Leroy and an SI7 agent.
A Leroy and an SI7 agent. You made tempo higher, 1.5. Now it's normal. Everything works here now. We just saw Styxon's turns for some time. Now we see both turns again. But it's Styxon now, here, and for this turn. He has an Azure Drake out. He could do 3 damage. Smites here, which makes no sense at all.
No.
The big question is he going to go for example Cable Shadow Priest to just have that 4-5 minion out? He could just play it. I mean, we saw one Acolyte of Pain. There could be another one or just one in the whole deck, and then your Cable Shadow Priest will be overall useless. Or he just goes for Defender of Argus now and gets 2 beefy minions. I mean, 2/6 Northshire Cleric, kind of annoying.
Yeah, it is. And the good thing is, I like in some Miracle Rogues, like the ones we saw from eEriness so far, they played a Loot Hoarder as well. So that's a potential which is really great if you play the Cobalt Shadow Priest, because you don't only deny a minion, but also card draw and get card draw yourself. So if this version has a Loot Hoarder as well, I think he should like keep his Cobalt Shadow Priest.
Absolutely, but it's kind of unusual to run the Cable Shadow Priest. And wow, Ek0p gets here one preparation after the other. He can kind of, well, use his whole hand now, drop everything he has spell-wise, and draw a lot of cards. He goes for the SI7 agent once, maybe twice. He could just play 2.
Him to play twice, yeah.
The big question is he going to clear the 2/3? Because in my opinion, if he cleared it, that would be super risky. His minion could just die to Holy Nova, and he just prevents it here and conceals 3 minion. That's 10 damage on the board, and he has Leroy in his hand. So he has 10 damage on the board and 12 damage in his hand. 22 damage possible. It's just super annoying.
Yeah, and if he actually draws a cold blood, it's over immediately. GG.
Stop calling that.
No,
Kai.
wait. It isn't.
It
he
isn't.
survives with 1 HP.
Correct. But still, not cool.
Not cool calling that.
Just gonna say it once. Not cool, since that's just a huge damage burst. But he doesn't need to go for it now. There is the one Argus down. He can just play, for example, one spell, Shadow Step, one of his SA7 agents played again. That would be a Shadow Step waste, but he can play some big ass Van Cleave, for example, if he wants to. I wouldn't advise him to. I'm just saying he could. He can also just backstab the left one, get an Eviscerate, even more damage. So he could just nuke the face.
I'm pretty sure Ek0p is winning this.
Without any further ado, he could just nuke the face with everything he has here. Just get his weapon deadly poisoned up, for example. Play one Cold Blood now. Why not now? He can deal just +4 damage now or next turn. Wouldn't change anything. And he actually does it. But he protects his... he really doesn't want his Auctioneer to die here to anything. So he uses that Cold Blood on one SA7 agent. Smart played here, Ek0p. And deals just a frigging amount of damage and still has Leroy, Shadow Step, Leroy, Blade Flurry even, Deadly Poison, whatever in his hand.
Leroy, Cold Blood, attack, Shadow Step, Leroy, and 3 minions on the board. I'm sure it's over.
You're sure it's over?
Yeah.
I feel like it hurts. It just hurts a lot.
It burns. Ek0p is stomping. It's the first time I see Ek0p on a Miracle Rogue.
It's the first time you see Ek0p on a Miracle Rogue. The good thing is here, Styxon can actually kill everything.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, but he can still handle what's on the board. So he takes that minion, attacks to the right, Holy Smites the Auctioneer away, and plays Shadow Madness, Shadow Word Death. Everything is down. Ek0p burns one Deadly Poison. Super annoying. Still, Leroy, Shadow Step, Leroy. Big question is Ek0p going to spam well played, or is his enemy denying him that option? Works so good. Well, it worked. He won. I'm lying.
He lost.
He lost. He won.
Yeah,
I can pull off my smart list,
I'm 99% sure you won.
You're 99% actually right.
I know, right?
That's good. So let's jump into the game and see a handlock. Ha.
Yeah.
Team eEriness is not disappointing us with their consistency. One player plays a deck, all the other players play it too. So I would say they just sit together, obviously, start of the week, start of the play week, and prepare the decks together. And it seems to work for him. I mean, handlock won once. Handlock may win twice.
I think handlock has the advantage in this matchup, to be honest, against the Miracle Rogue. If the Miracle, okay, if Ek0p gets another card draw like he had last game, he's gonna win. But if not, I think it might be rough for him.
The good thing is you have your Shadow Flame, so you can Shadow Flame whatever minion in Ancient Watcher to kill that annoying Auctioneer. And if you get turn 4 Giant and your enemy is, well, he's not getting a sap, he has to face an 8/8 minion. And who wants to face a freaking 8/8 minion?
Double Molten Giant on his hand already.
Double Molten Giant is the one thing you want to have. Double Molten Giant, Sunfury Protector, helps you quite a lot. He's going to heal himself up. Annoying thing, there's Cellness on the board and Cellness backstab. Well, that's 3 damage. Easy mode.
There goes your Elden Ring Farseer.
Leroy in starting hand. Well, almost starting hand. I'm just saying starting hand, but Leroy so early, that's quite tough. 2 damage with Cellness shifts. That's so good because you don't do 1 damage, you do 2.
It's twice as much.
It's double the damage. Meine Güte. Let's throw in some.
Meine Güte.
That German.
Wow.
And there is the problem we talked about. 4/7 Twilight Drake. What are you going to do? Coin 5 damage, eviscerate, hope it dies?
Well, it won't.
it dies if you poison up your weapon afterwards. But
or,
still,
or he trades the Salnus.
yeah, it
and,
would
and
be.
uses his weapon without poisoning because he doesn't have the mana to poison. Well, if he uses the coin, but you kind of want to save your coin for the auctioneer.
It feels kind of wasty,
Yeah.
just to do that. So it would be a lot of cards to get rid of some freakish Twilight Drake.
But he seems to be going for the play. He values his Salnus higher than
We do.
than we do.
I mean, Salnus is super useful. You saw 5 damage eviscerates, 2 damage shifts, Blade Flurry plus 1 spell damage 2. So Salnus has its value. Still, well, now it could get silenced, and now it hurts.
Yeah, I think he's most likely gonna silence the Watcher because if you deny the rogue one card, that's meh. Like he has the auctioneer and so much card draw anyways. Like it's way more valuable for you to silence your Watcher and get a 4/5 minion for 2 mana.
Ek0p thought about playing Leroy, attacking the face, preparation, Blade Flurry, and then killing the Ancient Watcher with his Soundness, for example. That would bring him out some beast mode, Leroy.
He could, yeah, he could have killed him. Yeah.
He could have done it, but still. Well, if you do it and your Leroy dies, you're kind of screwed for late game.
You are screwed for late game.
Absolutely. Leroy, Shadow Step, Leroy already possible together with the rest of the stuff. 13 damage would bring him down to 8. So he could bring him down to 8. And then he just needs another Eviscerate to win the game. That seems to be easy mode, I would say.
Could bring him down to 5.
Yeah, he could also Preparation Blade Flurry if he wants to.
Or just use the weapon.
Or just use the weapon. But if you have a Blade Flurry for 3, you really want to, I don't know, you want to use it kinda. I don't know if he maybe even plays Leroy and Preparations the Mountain Giant, like Preparation Sap the Mountain Giant. Could also be, he can actually play his whole hand almost. He can play his whole hand, not almost. He can just play his whole hand and 2 times Leroy if he really wants to. But that would be kinda all in.
Not kinda. Would be all in.
Everything gone, and is he going to do it? You're running out of time, Ek0p.
Especially if you want to play all those cards.
Yeah, if I play against a Murka Rogue, I always hope he's not watching the time and then really runs out of.
Yo, dude. What's the name of the song? That was written in the chat.
I know.
It's just translating.
I just ignored the chat. I was being professional.
Yeah.
So another Mountain Giant incoming. He's gonna taunt him up both, I guess. Or is there the Iron Beak Owl on his minion incoming plus Mortal Coil? Everything possible, but he still needs to fear. Well, Leroy Shadow Step, Leroy Cold Blood wouldn't kill him at the moment. That would just be, well, Leroy Shadow Step, Leroy Cold Blood would exactly deal 19 damage with the weapon.
1, yeah.
So, not enough, bro.
Now he's gonna Blade Flurry for sure.
Most likely, there is a Blade Flurry incoming. Still,
What? Okay.
if he Blade Flurries, plays an SI7 agent, get the weapon.
He can't.
I don't
Well, with prep, he would need to use. No, he can't. Never mind.
My main concern is the Giant survives.
It does either way.
Yeah, that's just my main concern.
Yeah.
The Giant survives, and well, it hurts to see that Giant survive.
Okay, he's taking the foot. That makes sense.
He's making the most of what he has in his hand. Not only the SI7 agent could kill the Mountain Giant now, no, also the Assassin's Blade could kill it, but you would take 8 damage, and you really don't want to take 8 damage.
I'm wondering if he decides to use Defender of Argus now. Because that would make the Giant survive the SI7 agent. But then there's still the possibility for a Shiv or Fan of Knives. So that's rather risky to use your only taunt, at least the only one you have on your hand, because you kind of want to keep it for the double Molten Gyre Defender of Argus combo.
He could also just play his he can also face his manipulator if he wants to. He could just play a Molten Giant, as you stated. What he really wants to go for is turn 10 Leroy overwhelming faceless, because that's 20 damage and 20 awesome damage. He can also deal 12 damage next turn with that combo, just Leroy and faces manipulator. So big amount of damage is possible. He could also deal 14 now with Leroy, Mountain Giant, Shadow Flame. I'm surprised he really goes for the HP drain. I would feel. What am I talking about? It's already GG. Yep. that Shadow Flame just Shadow. Ek0p lost his Rogue. Styxon lost his Priest. Is playing Handlock now. Will Ek0p answer with a Shaman? Possible. Or his, well, I would say it's his Ram Druid he's playing. We will just find out by jumping right into the game.
Of course, it's going to be the Shaman.
The also known Ek0p Shaman. His anti-aggro rush, not rush.
Well, but I don't know. Warlock is not known, like Handlock is not known to be that aggressive.
Still, those Earth Shocks are super nice.
Yes.
Against the Twilight Drakes. And you have 2 hexes. You have your Flame Tongue Totem on your totems. There's a lot of potential what you can do. Question is just, how will Ek0p use it, and will he draw the cards he needs to pull off everything he wants to do? There's a Mountain Giant for Styxon. Good job, Styxon. Good job, card draw. He can. The good thing is he has a coin and still can play a turn 3 play before he actually goes for the Giant turn 4. That's useful.
Most certainly is. We'll see. There comes another Ring Farseer.
Well, I know Ek0p's answer to this. Pharaoh Spirits attack with his minion, for example, could be possible. Or just play Defender of Argus. That would be funny too.
I think Defender is better play here.
The good thing is if he plays Defender, he can next turn play Pharaoh Spirits and Stormforged Axe, like in one turn. And that's double buffs for his Unbound Elemental. That would be some Beast Mode Unbound Elemental.
Most certainly is. 3-2 already after you traded.
And a 1/3 spell damage totem. I mean, that's 2 damage Earth Shocks. You don't want to miss your 2 damage Earth Shocks.
Oh, please don't play the Twilight Drake. Damn.
It's well, it's not surprising he plays it first.
I actually think it's surprising.
To play it first?
Yes. Only against the Shaman, because, yeah, the risk of an Earthshock, like, it hurts so much to see it.
But we see Ek0p also drew in Hex, so he could have dealt with the Giant too. I mean, yes, you're right. You should be careful with your Twilight Drakes. Still, in this situation, in the end, it wouldn't have made a difference, and everything is kind of even still. He drops quite low already here to 22, and whoa, he has the Mountain Giant now, but Ek0p might not care at all.
He will most definitely not care.
We need a Shadow Flame here for Styxon to play his Ancient Watcher Shadow Flame. Even Ancient Watcher power overwhelming Shadow Flame. So that would be like super overkill, but possible. And he silences the Unbound Elemental, which I think is a super good move, since you don't want to get it out of hand.
It's true.
Oh, that is a Drake. Can draw some cards. But Hex will be incoming. You don't want to face a Shadow Flame on a Mountain Giant. You just don't want to face a Shadow Flame at all. Well, now actually a Hellfire would already be enough. You don't even need to face a Shadow Flame.
Would kill everything.
So is Styxon playing 2 Shadow Flames, 2 Hellfires Handlock? That's a possible version, especially against Rush. Or is he just playing the 1-for-1 or 2-1, like 2 Shadow Flames, 1 Hellfire, 2 Hellfires, 1 Shadow Flame? What we know is he has none of them in hand.
Yeah, I think he plays the 1-1 version. Because all the handlocks from eEriness we saw, we never saw double Shadow Flame or double Hellfire so far.
But it's okay. You don't even need to watch those VODs over and over again to find out. On Monday or Tuesday, we will throw out the deck list for week 2 too. Like week 1 deck lists are incoming, week 2 deck lists are incoming. You're gonna get everything covered, so you can actually see what your favorite player played. If you're cheering for Styxon or for Ek0p, we're going to throw those deck lists in your face and say, take them and make use of them.
Take and make use of them indeed. And yeah, it looks pretty good for Ek0p. Well, that's not a statement.
That's an understatement. It looks extremely good for Ek0p. It seems to be the, well, maybe 2-1 here for him, and double Lightning Storm. I don't want to say you gotta be kidding me, but you gotta be kidding me.
Doesn't make a difference.
He's able to clear the board and deal 6 damage. Exactly. Well played here from Ek0p.
Elements will destroy you.
And the elements did destroy
the animal
Styxon.
won't destroy